Today we have a split at the front of the fleet. Chamonix-Pujola and Neutrogena, who have been hand in hand for most of the Atlantic, now divided by 400 miles after Neutrogena jibed south yesterday morning. Third-placed Gaius has also made the turn for south and is currently sailing a course between these two lead boats. In fourth, Renault, followed by We Are Water and One Planet, One Ocean, are very much affected by the St. Helena high-pressure system, with One Planet, One Ocean experiencing better breezes closer to the Brazilian shore. Spirit of Hungary in seventh continues to benefit from strong, stable trade winds conditions. The leaders are expected to arrive at around 40 degrees south, the gateway to the Southern Ocean, tomorrow. Neutrogena is the most southerly boat, while race leader Chamonix-Pujola head for the Cape of Good Hope. So looking at the leaderboard for Tuesday, January the 20th, Chamonix-Pujola currently leads Neutrogena by some 154 miles, although the distance between two boats on the water is around 400 miles. Neutrogena is the fastest on the course currently, clocking over 20 knots at this morning's 9 o'clock update. Gaius Centros Saltativos has shed some 50 miles to the lead boat over the course of this morning, although that is largely due to the major split at the front of the fleet. Renault Captur, We Are Water and One Planet, One Ocean remain within 400 miles of each other. One Planet, One Ocean is the fastest of the bunch at just over 10 knots. Spirit of Hungary, meanwhile, in solid trade wind conditions, are making good 15-knot averages.
Right now we have 21 knots of wind from east, and we are progressing with 16 knots of speed, boat speed. The typical trade wind conditions, and this is really favorable for us. We can move very well. This is very interesting. Now we progress very well because we are still in the trade wind, and the guys ahead in the different conditions, they've got much less wind and very complicated weather situation. And as long as we are here and they are there, we will a little bit gain on them. But in a couple of days when we will be there also, it will be also complicated for us. So it's very difficult to judge now how much can we keep from this gain and how much we will give back later. So it is never know. It's a kind of gambling. We study the weather all the time, and the formula is quite complicated. Since the time we are concentrating on our boat and on our track, so we don't care too much about the other guys because they are very far away, and this is not a real race for us right now. Would be good to catch up and making a more pleasant competition, but this 600 and some mileage away, this is a different situation. But with the boat and the boat performance, we are really happy. In spite of that, still we don't know the boat 100%. We are studying and know better and better, but far away from perfect.
So earlier today we spoke to Nandor Farr on Spirit of Hungary. Nandor and Conrad Coleman are currently in 7th place, some 1,300 miles behind race leaders Chamonix-Pujola. However, the pair are experiencing some of the most enjoyable sailing conditions of the fleet, with consistent trade winds allowing them to maintain 12 to 15 knot boat speeds. Their solid average pace has enabled them to make gains on the three boats immediately ahead: One Planet, One Ocean, We Are Water and Renault Captur. However, Nandor reported that he was very conscious of the fact that, whilst these three are currently slowed by the St. Helena high pressure, Spirit of Hungary will also have to negotiate this zone of light winds, and they may in turn lose some of their hard-earned miles. The pair are also beginning to prepare for the Southern Oceans. Both Nandor and Conrad have competed in the Deep South previously in single and double-handed ocean races, although it will be the first time that Spirit of Hungary, a new design launched just prior to the Barcelona World Race start, has been tested in such conditions. Nando reported that he was confident in the boat, however, and that there were currently no major problems on board. In fact, the two sailors are so relaxed that they recently blogged about the exercise regime they had adopted on board, doing sit-ups and squats to compensate for the lack of walking on board a 60-foot yacht. However, the extreme heat at 13 degrees south is proving a challenge for both of them, particularly when combined with the need to wear waterproofs on deck.
Well, the thing is, we were in a system between two high pressures with a very narrow band of wind, that downwind, and I see the possibility to change the system and go more south, because the thing on this system where Gemini is now, you cannot go south. You need a shift on the wind to go south, more wind more north. So what I decided to take the risk. Well, it's not really a risk, but go change the system and take the big low is coming from the south side where we were. And I think in the end it was safer to take this new system than stay on the other one, because you're committed to going one only gaining east and not gaining south. So I think it's a little bit of game on long term. We were people to make a decision. I was thinking quite a lot, run all the routings and taking all the advantages, pros and the cons to do this thing. We know he was faster downwind in the conditions we were. We gained some miles to him because we sail more south of this wind corridor, and it's always more south and more wind than this the south side of the corridor. But in the end, you have to make a decision, and we can hold there and stay in the range of 10, 20 miles with them, play the big game and win more, and if we can lose as well. But we take this decision because I think we are quite sure in the long term it's going to be the right one. The boat is okay. We've been sailing with the boat all kind of conditions. We know it's usually slightly faster on these conditions than us because we have more volume. It's the same generation boat, but with some improvements too, especially for these conditions. Well, we know it's faster, but New Trojan is a fast boat. I know him for a long time, so we are trying to serve him 110%.
At the front of the fleet, there has been a major division, with second-placed Neutrogena splitting from current leader Cheminée Pujola for the first time in the race, and jibing south in search of new weather systems and stronger westerly breezes. From sailing virtually neck and neck for much of the Atlantic, the separation between these two boats has now increased to some 400 miles, as Cheminée Pujola remains on a much more easterly course. This bold tactical move by Guillermo Altidore and Jose Munoz is likely to see the two leading boats diverge further, as they become separated by a light winds area of high pressure. Speaking earlier today, Guillermo was confident in his decision and their chances of making a significant gain by the time they reach the Cape of Good Hope in around 4 or 5 days. Once Neutrogena reaches the Antarctic exclusion zone, however, they may face a punishing series of manoeuvres in order to make miles to the east. Yesterday, race leader Bernard Stamm commented that he and Jean Lecain were preserving their boat above all else in the approach to the south, whereas today Guillermo reported that, by contrast, they were now sailing Neutrogena at 110%. Currently, Neutrogena's move appears to be paying off. This morning they were the fastest in the fleet, averaging nearly 19 knots over 4 hours. This section of the Atlantic is renowned for record-setting speeds. It was here that Jean-Pierre Dick and Loic Peyron set a new 24-hour speed record in the Barcelona World Race 4 years ago, covering 506.35 nautical miles at an average pace of 21.1 knots. Race meteorologist Marcel van Triest explains why.
This part of the South Atlantic is also the part where normally 24-hour distance records get broken. It's been done twice in the Barcelona World Race. The reason for that is that if you get one of those lows coming out of the Cabo Frio cold front, it's strong winds and it's not that much waves, which is important, right? We've seen another subject that the waves are a consequence of something called fetch, right? Which is on how much square miles, square kilometers or whatever the wind blows, right? The time it has blown there and the intensity of the wind, right? If you're on the leading edge, like you're in front of one of those big lows. The waves haven't had time to build up yet, right? And then you've got fairly flat water with lots of wind, and that's where you can beat those 24-hour distance records, which is typically over here, right? Further down in the Indian Ocean, in the Pacific Ocean, there's too much waves to really get in really fast conditions.
Situation for the fleet today, two special way, two different way for the two leaders. Neutrogena chose a very south way to keep the big low pressure coming from the south, 48 degrees south, and he will catch that to go to the 40s. Cheminée Pujula prefer to stay in the prefrontal front of the northwest to have a way more direct to the 40s. So very interesting to see what's happened for the two boats in the 2 days later. Gaes is still in the medium situation. He has just to be careful with the wave front just in front of him. So maybe he will choose more south to catch the 40s later. We can go to the next slide. For the other boats, Renault Capture in very quite difficulties speed because it's close to the ridge and so not a lot of wind, so it's speed around 7-8 knots. Little speed for We Are Water, better position, and we can say Oppo is win a little more speed, is closer to the coast and has better condition to approach the follow of the race. Spirit is a really good situation because good southeast trade wind, so the boat very fast, speed about 14-15 knots speed, so really good for them.